How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, mate, we're absolutely stoked to talk to you and to have you back down under for the first time in a minute, especially with garbage. It's pissing down here at the moment, but it should be nice and toasty for you by the time you get down here in November for Good Things Festival. We're excited. How are you feeling about the upcoming shows?
Well, I'm looking at it as a holiday because it'll be winter here when we come down there in December, and so it's going to be great. We love coming to Australia. It's it's where we started as a band. We were signed to Mushroom and Frontier, and they were so supportive before we signed a deal here in the U.S. and in Europe. And we have a huge fan base down there, and
You do.
we're super psyched to be coming down there. I think we haven't been there since I don't even know 20. When was the last time we were there, guys? 2016 or something
20,
like that.
2015, 2016. It's
Yeah,
been
so
basically a
almost 10
decade. Yeah.
years. Yeah. So we are psyched to be coming down there. And like I said, for me, it's a rock and roll holiday.
So you say a holiday, but I mean, you got three shows in a row. The Good Things Festival is just jam-packed. I don't know logistically what it's going to be like, whether you guys are going to play your show the first night and then just go on the plane, let's get to interstate. Like maybe the holiday is going to be afterwards, I suppose. You're planning on spending a while either side. Is that the plan?
Well, here's probably what's going to happen. We're going to play, party, probably go to the hotel, party, get up really early, go to the airport, and get on a plane with a lot of the other artists who will probably be hungover. And then you fly to the next city and get there, early afternoon. Everybody goes to the hotel, and then you go to the venue and you hang out and rock out and then party, and then you do it again. That's kind of
Sure.
what I remember it was like last time. So
Is it ever going to stop for you guys? Is this just going to be how it is till the end? I mean, I love hearing this. We speak to some people and they say, well, we've been like, we're seasoned now. We know what we need to do. We take it easy. We go to the hotel. We stay until we need to. We have our cups of tea. But I mean, hearing you say this is such a breath of fresh air.
Well, come on, guys. It's fun. It's fun being in a band. And we've been doing it in Garbage for 30 years. And it's just like, of course, we take everything we do, writing and recording music and playing live very seriously. But it's also like being in this weird little club where you get to hang out with cool people and meet other bands and hang out. And it's pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, and we, uh, usually what happens when we start a tour is just like you alluded to, we're very not strict, but we're really pretty focused. And as you start playing shows, more and more shows, you loosen up. And we're starting a North American tour the first week of September. So by the time we get down to Australia, we'll have played about 50 shows.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I think we'll be well oiled.
Yeah, that's it too. Coming off the back of so many shows, it's like, yeah, you have the fatigue that comes with that, but also I guess the confidence in, knowing everything back to front. I imagine you'll probably be keeping a similar set list so you can keep everything sort of tight and, well rehearsed so you can kind of go, well, look, we're down under, we're here to party, we know we're going to absolutely smash it. So let's have some fun. Now, are there bands on the list that you haven't played before with? Like, obviously, you guys have been at it for a long time. Is there anybody that you're excited to see for the first time or maybe just hang with?
Well, I think it's a great lineup of good things. I'm super psyched to see Refused
Nice.
because they made one of the greatest prog punk albums ever. I produced this band AFI years ago, and that
We
album by
love them.
Refused was the biggest sort of influence on them of anything that they had ever heard. So I'm a big fan of Tool, and I love Maynard because Maynard loves really good wine, and Australia has really good wine. So we will be drinking some really good wine. Backstage, Maynard has a whole road case that's temperature controlled
Oh, wow.
with like with
Of
like
course he does.
yeah, of course he does with like penfolds and like just like so much good like kick-ass wine. And I'm gonna track him down in the first day and just go. You need to open that up and pull out something really, really good.
Maybe a Grange for the Good
Yes,
Things
I'm
tour.
I'm gonna say you got to pull out a Grange Manor. Come on, let's go.
It's a big year for you guys, of course. 30 years since, the debut record, and of course, the latest record as well. Let all that we can imagine be the light. It's been out for a couple of months now. How have you found the reception for the latest record? Because I know the recording process with everything going on with Shirley was definitely a little bit different.
It was sort of a fractured album in the sense that last year we were on tour. We played a bunch of shows in Europe, like headline Wembley. We had really big shows because we hadn't been there for a while. And by the end of the tour, Shirley could barely walk. She had a hip replacement earlier that year, and it didn't take. So she had to have a total hip replacement. We canceled some of the shows at the end of 2024 because of that. And so when we started the latest Garbage record, Let All That We Imagine Be the Light, it was fractured in the sense that it was Duke and Steve and me here in my studio, and Shirley was not in with us. And so all we could do is write music with no scratch vocals or melody ideas or lyric ideas. And we felt sort of, I don't know, just disembodied in a way. But we would send her these tracks, and she was home recovering, and she would hear them overnight and with a handheld mic sit on the edge of her bed and sing a vocal take. And they were all pretty much one take. And I have a feeling that it's like was sort of therapeutic for her in a way. And to me, the album sounds very intimate. Her
Yeah.
singing and the lyrics are all like just very spontaneous.
The attitude
And
too.
and the attitude, I mean, if she'd been in the studio, of course I'd go, that was really good. Give me another take. That was really
Mm.
good. Give me another take. I always want more and more. I want to have a lot of things to work with. But we didn't in this case. Shirley did one take and sent us the track and go, okay, this is what the track is. And so it was tough. I mean, as a producer, I like being in a room with people because you're in a room, you can just make decisions. Someone plays something that's good, that's bad. And when you have to do it sort of virtually or spread out, it can be, like I said, sort of make the process feel sort of disembodied. But I think somehow Shirley made the album one of our most intimate sounding albums.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. And I guess we were talking about inspirations before. I noticed in your set list, Personal Jesus is kind of spliced in there in the middle at the moment. I just wondered if there was a bit of a Depeche Mode influence on the album, whether it was intentional, whether it's somebody that you've sort of always looked up to. Didn't know if you had anything to do with Martin Gore before in the past as well, whether you guys have worked together, but you can hear some of those guitar lines, like those dominant guitar lines that sort of go throughout those tracks. And I don't know. I just wondered whether it was a conscious influence or whether it's just sort of how the sound evolved.
Oh man, I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan. I had Violator and play in my car back in the 80s, 90s. Like I didn't take the CD out of the box for like
Mm.
years.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
when we made the first Garbage record, before we'd signed a deal, our manager sent it to Depeche Mode's label. I can't remember what the label was in the UK. Anyway, and they got it to uh, Martin Gore, and Martin Gore put Queer on his voicemail answering machine.
Nice. That's a
And
good
at one
testament.
point, I did a remix for Depeche Mode. And so we had this rapport. I've never met them other than sort of email back and forth. And I've seen them live a bunch of times. So I've never hung out with them, but I'm just a massive fan. And I think the records they're making now are great. Um, and Depeche Mode is one of many influences in Garbage. I mean, we reference all sorts of classic 60s songs. Shirley's a huge fan, of course, of Susie and Patti Smith
Mhm.
and Chrissie Hynde from the Pretenders. I'm a huge Roxy Music fan, a
Nice.
Depeche Mode fan. Um, and I think you can hear all those influences in Garbage songs. We're also we're New Order fans. We played a festival with New Order back in the day in Australia, and we did the thing. You'd play the show, go to the hotel,
Party.
party until about 3 in the morning, get up at 8 and go to the airport and do it again. And it was awesome.
Yeah, New Order, I bet party about as hard as anybody ever
Well,
partied.
they did back then. Let me tell you, they out partied garbage, if that's possible.
Yeah, nice, nice. Now going back to that early time as well, in those production days, I think basically right before we hit the big ones of, Gish and Nevermind, you produced a band that we have a lot of love for here in Australia called the Cosmic Psychos. Now, I don't know if that happened through your connection with maybe Gadinsky and Mushroom or something like that, but how the hell did the Cosmic Psychos end up being in Smart Studios with Butch Vig right before the Smashing Pumpkins?
Well, I love the Cosmic Psychos. I don't remember how it happened. I think it was because someone at Sub Pop knew Sub Pop's a label out of Seattle. They did a lot of
Hmm.
indie records, and I
Yeah,
did a bunch of Sub Pop
great
singles,
label.
and Nirvana was signed to them. The Pumpkins, we did a Sub Pop single. Anyway, I think somehow the query or the question came from them because Butch Vig interested, uh, and I just said yes because I'd heard a couple tracks that I liked, and I think they, like a lot of bands, they probably were in the U.S. doing some shows because you can't just fly here and record. So I think they did a bunch of shows, and we scheduled maybe 7 or 8 or 9 days to record and mix the record, and it was not a lot. Um, but I'll tell you this: at the time, Killdozer had the record for the most cases of beer drunk in a week,
Yeah,
which I
there we
think
go.
was 20. And the Cosmic Psychos did 23 cases of beer in a week.
You can count on the Aussies.
Yeah, man. And it was so much fun. We, Dead Rue, we, we had a friend of ours who stopped by the studio, Frank Anderson, and he goes, I've got a whole camera crew here. We just shot a video for a commercial and we're all paid for, but there's nothing going on. I go, well, come in, let me play you this track, Dead Rue. And he goes, let's go shoot a video right now.
Hell yeah.
And and we shot the video, which is them like going to a bowling alley and whatever. Anyway, and as you do, because we didn't have to pay for it. So anyway, I love the band. There's a great documentary of them, and I love when Ross he's standing in his outside of his farm in the driveway, and he goes, "What the heck do I know? I'm just a friggin' farmer or whatever." He goes, "Why are you interviewing me? I'm just a friggin' farmer." I'm of course dropping the F bomb here. I don't want to
Yes.
get you in trouble. So
Oh man, good stuff. That's yeah, it's classic. I just had to find out the backstory there because we love them, and they're a pub rock band that somehow made their way there to one of the most revered recording places in history. So it's great. We love that for them. And we love it for you too.
there was a bar I used to go to in Melbourne called the Cherry Bar,
Ah, yes. Yep, I
which
know it well.
I think didn't didn't the drummer Bill did he start that or was he the manager of that? I don't
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
he had a
But we
very
would
good
go there
involvement.
every time we were there. We would go to the Cherry Bar, after show stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, still, I think it's still, I mean, I moved out of Melbourne 10 years ago now, but it was still going strong back then as well. So I do hope that it is still kicking. Mate,
Right
you've done
on.
everything. Your resume is second to none. Like you've had your hand in some of the biggest albums of all time. Is there something out there that you think doesn't get the credit it deserves? Like something out there that you go, God, I wish people would ask me more about that.
Um, well, I mean, every record I make, you think it's just everybody in the world needs to hear it, right? That you have to think that way.
Yeah.
Um,
And to be
I'm
fair, you did well with Siamese Dream and Nevermind
Yes,
at
of course,
variety.
and those found a big audience, which was great. I'm a huge fan of the band Against Me. I don't know if you guys have got
Yeah,
a
of
chance
course.
to see
Hmm.
them. I'm very close with Laura Jane Grace. When we did New Wave, they got signed to Warner Brothers here, and there was a big buzz on them. I think even when the record came out, Spin Magazine picked it as Album of the Year. It was a big thing, and the record did okay. It sold a couple 100,000 copies, but it didn't go into the stratosphere like some other albums I've luckily enough been able to do. And yet, I love the band so much. I'm still very close with Laura Jane. And if anybody hasn't heard New Wave or White Crosses, both those albums are killer. The songs are
White
killer.
Crosses is amazing. Yeah, huge
Yeah,
fan.
it's a killer album. I was a teenage anarchist. It's a fantastic song.
Yeah, I mean, we play a couple of their tracks here at the station, so hopefully our audience is as well across them. But if they're not, they should be now. They got the stamp of approval from the man himself. Mate, I
Right
know
on.
I know we're running out of time, and we're so thankful for you having a chat to us. But we cannot wait for Good Things Festival. It is the one thing that we look forward to here every year because, I mean, it may not be the case in America so much, but live music here in Australia, especially festivals, it is. I know some days it feels like it's hanging by a thread. So to have you guys down here is going to be absolutely fantastic. And tickets for Good Things Festival available through Destroyer Lines. It's going to be amazing, and we seriously can't wait.
Cool. We are super psyched. Come and see the show. We're going to be, have played 50 shows at that point. So we are going to be focused and on fire.
We owe it to you, man, honestly. And it's been fantastic. I really can't tell you how much of a fanboy of yours I am. We reference you on the show all the time because you're always coming up because you've done everything. So it really does feel like I'm talking to one of my personal Jesus of sorts today. So
That's cool, man. Thank you so much.
yeah, of course, of course. Well, can't wait to see you. Maybe we can have a Penfolds together at some point backstage if we can make it there as
I'm
well.
I'm calling Maynard. He's got to pull out the good stuff, man.
I'll bring you something local that Maynard wouldn't know about. How about that?
Oh, actually, that I prefer that in a way because it's like you want to find there's so much great stuff out there, much like indie rock. There's
Mhm.
bands out there you never hear about, and I want to hear it all. So
I can do
yeah.
both. I'll sort you
Okay,
with
so
both.
bring it to the festival. I'll check it out.
All right, sounds good, man.
Right on.
Thanks, man.
Really
Appreciate your
appreciate it.
time. Really, thank you.
Thanks, you guys.